Bookies. Today we're going to go over some book recs for Children's Book Day. So let's get started. Obviously, the time that I post this, it will already be too late because Children's Book Day is April 2nd. But that doesn't mean that you can't read books for Children's Book Day. And I have quite a bit. Of middle grade ones because I read a lot of middle grade. But I do have a couple of picture books that I want to recommend first. And then we can skip to some of the middle grade ones. The first one for picture books that I'm going to recommend is Keyana Loves Her Family, which is this super cute book about this girl named Keyana who has this plan. And then when things start falling apart, she has to learn about like having to ask help for others and letting them help and stuff like that. It's super cute. Okay, don't know where I left off. I hope I got all of that I recommended so far. So another picture book that I'm going to recommend for Children's Book Day is, well, past it, because, yeah, whatever. Is Granddad's Pride, which is a cute little story about our main character who goes to visit their granddad and finds their old pride flag and gets to learn all about pride events and LGBT and stuff like that. I thought that it was very well simplified and that... that is very well explained. There's so much representation in the book and everything, and then at the end they hold their own little pride festival. It's so cute. Definitely recommend that. Now, for the rest of this video, it's going to be mostly middle grade, but some of these are a little bit younger than like the middle grade range. I don't really get to do a lot of like early chapter books or anything like that, so sorry. Yeah. Anyways, so the first one that I'm going to recommend for middle grade / younger books is Camp Quilt Bag by Nicole, Melleby, and AJ Sass. This one just came out and it is absolutely adorable. Our two main characters are kids that just came out. One is lesbian, one is non-binary that goes by neo-pronouns. And they both discovered this new camp and they are both struggling to make friends. So they both form a pact together and, you know, each one has different wants. One wants to be able to make friends. One has a crush on this gay kid and they're trying to, you know, get more time with them, whatever. It's adorable. It's cute. Very inclusive. There's so much diversity and inclusivity in this. I absolutely loved it. I also chose Amira and Hamza, The War to Save the World by Samira Ahmed. This is very Percy Jackson-like. In this one, two siblings accidentally find themselves unfrozen when the rest of the world and the universe kind of is frozen, and they are tasked with saving the world, and they found out a lot about each other. Why I picked out this book is that it has a lot of siblingness about it. There's a lot about sibling ties and you know, camaraderie, and I just, you know, for kids that have siblings, especially ones that are close in age with them or they fight, I think this would be a good book for them to read together to explore that relationship and to kind of build on their existing relationship. Of course, I'm not going to have a list without actual kind of Percy Jackson-like books. So obviously, I always recommend Percy Jackson, but Rick Riordan has this imprint. It's called Rick Riordan Presents, where he signs on authors to write their own mythology and stuff like that. So instead of him writing like Egyptian mythology when he's not Egyptian, he'll hire an Egyptian author to write Egyptian mythology. This one that I have is just an example of one of them. It is The Firekeeper by J.C. Cervantes, and this was actually book 2. I forgot Stormrunner was actually the first one. I always get them confused. But anyways, in the Stormrunner, our story starts off with Zane, who is this disabled child, one leg shorter than the other, and he has a dog. And they live with his mom and everything until he discovers that he has fire powers, and he's actually a descendant of I think a fire god, one of the bigger gods of Mayan mythology, and yeah, they're not supposed to have descendants, so things go a little bit wonky. So this is the second or third book, I can't remember, I think this one's the second one. But yeah, anything in that Rick Riordan Presents series, Shah, Sierra Boateng, Tristan Strong, any of them. I recommend all of them. If you have young kids that are questioning about COVID and the pandemic and stuff like that, and the BLM protests, and trying to get a little bit more into social justice, figure out where they are socially and stuff in the world, this one is called When the World Turns by Ibura. This one is absolutely fantastic. It takes place at the start of the pandemic and very accurately explains what the pandemic is about, what is happening, why we need masks and stuff like that. And it follows a group of kids that are helping out their apartment complex. It also goes into BLM and social justice and stuff like that. I thought it was very well done, and I just absolutely love it. Highly recommend this. If you have kids that are into, or you yourself, you know, you can always read them. There is no age limit on books, by the way. Unless, you know, your parents say, you know, you kind of have to do what your parents say. But anyways, yeah, beyond that, if you like competition, or your young one likes competition, maybe they're in Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, whatever kind of scouts, Cookie Monsters by Erika J. Kendrick is absolutely amazing. In this one, there is a school that does scouting, and our main character, she just lost her mom. Her mom was a big part of helping her sell a lot of cookies and stuff like that. And she dedicates this year's cookie selling to her mom, and she wants to raise an all-time high. But a new kid at school has joined, and she is super competitive, and so the stakes are raised between both of them. I thought it was very well done at the competition aspect, and how well it was resolved at the end. Also, like, as a former Girl Scout, I absolutely love this, because sometimes I did feel like a little bit of a Cookie Monster myself. Something that is a bit of a more slowed down read that focuses a lot on family is The Stars of Whistling Ridge by Cindy Baldwin. In this one, there is this family. Our main focus is the oldest child of this family, and they travel around, and they live in an RV, stuff like that. The mother is kind of like this fallen star type of thing. So basically she goes around and she helps people by granting their wishes. She uses I think it's fireflies to help grant wishes and stuff like that. But when our main character has a bout of, you know, anger, she's very unsettled in this way of life. She doesn't like it. She wants to stay in one place, and she thinks, you know, if I can just get rid of my mom's supply, we'll settle down somewhere. She does, and then all havoc breaks loose. So it is up to our main character to fix this. So a lot of it goes into autonomy and stuff like that, how our main character kind of feels like she doesn't have a lot of free will in her situation in life, so it goes a lot into that, and I thought that the aspect of family and sisterhood was also really pertinent in this book. Recently, I started getting into crafting. I've started doing amigurumi dolls, and I'm going to attempt some for Christmas, and I got sent this book, and I absolutely loved it, because the main character is just like me. She has discovered amigurumi, and she is using it to help this boba shop stay afloat. It's boba time for Pearl Lee. Of course, she makes little amigurumi dolls, which are just crocheted dolls. They're like 3D and stuff like that, instead of just flat like Shah's and stuff like that. But she learned this talent from this boba shop owner. They have a very close friendship and everything. She's kind of like a third parental figure for her, especially in her family, where all of the adults and her older sister are really big into coding. That is their craft. Yeah, I consider coding a craft. It is kind of a craft. So they're all like coders and everything, and the mom is very much pressuring our main character, you know, you gotta buckle down, you gotta start doing coding and stuff like that. That is the way of the future. But our main character doesn't. Her thing in life is that she just wants to make amigurumi dolls, and she finds a way to sell them to help the boba shop owner keep her shop alive. What I thought was really cool about this, it went into a lot of marketing and crafting. It's a very crafty book, but it also teaches a lot about marketing, SEO, everything like that, how to run a business, what you need to look for. It even has tips at the end. And then I think there's also, yeah, there's a recipe in here. How Pearl calculates profits from kawaii crochets, business terms, like, if your kid's like wanting to start their own little business or whatever, be it like a lemonade stand on the side of a street, or they want to start an Etsy store, this is a great book for them to read along with you, so that way they can get a sense of what they need to do. And then the last book that I'm going to recommend, but certainly not the least, because I'm always recommending more and more children's books, it is Anne of West Philly by Ivy Noel Weir, illustrated by Misha Haynes. This one is a modern retelling of Anne of Green Gables, and it is completely graphic novel. Always recommend graphic novels. It's a valid form of reading. It just is. Pictures can tell a story themselves without words. But in this one, it follows the story of Anne of Green Gables, but in a more modern setting, and it's just really cool. And Anne, she is into STEM, and we love a STEM queen. But yeah, that is it mostly for this video. I just focus on a lot of the younger reads, but I'm always recommending young adult novels, more middle grade novels. I'm always recommending those. So if you need more recommendations, go back, check out other videos that I have. And yeah, that is it. So thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.